Hello. This is Christopher Leach once again with you. Looking forward to sharing more tips concerning toonboom harmony. I'm going to start the train with this very first tip. How do you get the perfect pivot point? Again, how do you get the perfect pivot point? Circles. That's all you need. That's all you need to get it done. So if you can find the perfect center of a circle, you have found the perfect pivot point for your object. That is why, before I go into drawing the different body parts of my character that I am rigging, I always set the pivot point first. That way, I can be sure that when it's time to move different limbs, they will move perfectly. And that's exactly what you need for animation. So we're going to do that at this point, set those pivot points, and also set the points of the pivots above the drawings before we go any further. Of course, if you haven't already, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to just gently caress that subscribe button so that whenever new videos come out, you will be the first in line to receive of their awesomeness. Okay, so now that I have set the location where the pivot points are to be, the question is, how do you set them? Just some back knowledge. In the physical world, a puppeteer controls a puppet via the use of these wooden sticks he holds in his hands called pegs. So that concept has been taken from the physical world and brought into the digital world into toonboom. Just like how a puppeteer would control a puppet via the use of those pegs, similarly an animator would control his drawings via the manipulation of his pegs. So the drawings are the blue nodes, and above the blue nodes are green nodes, and those green nodes are the pegs. And so we have to set the pegs pivot point at this time. So to do that, step 1, choose your peg. Step 2, go and choose any animation tool. There are 5 you can choose from. Step 3, then go and move that small dot that appears with the X and Y axis over to that X you would have created earlier in the middle of your circle. And step 4, congratulate yourself for successfully repositioning the pivot point of your peg. You have done a good job, and let's go on further. We have a lot more to learn. At this point, I am going to now set all the pivots of all the pegs. Now, sometimes while you're working, you realize that you need 2 pegs to have the exact same pivot point. If you come to that situation, there is an easy way to resolve it. I am now going to introduce you to the little yellow magic box. Basically, in that box contains all the data that a node holds. So, if we go to one peg and press that yellow box, then we're going to see at the bottom the data, the X and Y coordinate data for the pivots. And so all we need to do is copy the data from the bottom of that peg over to the next peg, and we will have then 2 identical pegs. Awesome. Once we have finished setting the pegs, it is time for us now to remove all those X's. They're no longer important. At this time, I'm going to go a little bit faster. I would have copied those circles onto the corresponding drawings previously. For example, the lower hand would have 1 circle, the lower arm would have 2 circles, the upper arm would have 2 circles, and so on, so forth. Now it's time to fill in those gaps and delete all the information that is unnecessary. Now the next tip, which is to delete unnecessary information, what you have to do, you press T and swipe across any line you don't want. Again, press T and swipe across any line you don't want, and that line is gone. But while you're doing that, keep in mind that if lines are not connected, it will not work. Again, if lines are not connected, it will not work. Alright, we've just come to the conclusion of the matter of line art. I want to thank you all so much for spending the time with me. And if you're interested in learning more about the characters we are building, well, you can read about the project down below. What is indeed Project GC? Read about it below. And if you are interested in donating towards the cause of Project GC, you can do so via the PayPal link down below. And once again, it was so good spending some time with you. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button. God bless.